Hello everyone, welcome to yet another tutorial. Today we're going to look at how to animate an arm in 3ds Max. So we'll look at modeling, rigging, and we will animate and render the animation. We will understand how the modeling process works, how the bone structure is created, how to do the skinning, and then we'll just do a basic HDRI lighting setup to create the rendering. So let's see how uh, this is done in 3ds Max. So in 3ds Max, we'll start with a box, create a small cube, and I will move this up above the ground so that we have enough space for the hand to be modeled. Okay, I'm going to convert it to editable poly, and we will go to edged faces. And let us work in the side view here. I'll simply so this one is at the top of the arm, so I'll shift and drag this down. So this is the elbow area, and I will create uh, three segments at the joints. So we need more geometry where the objects bend. Then we will create the middle of the forearm, and then this is the wrist area, so I'll again extrude it 3 times. This becomes the wrist, this becomes the hand, these become the fingers. So we'll give it one more. Okay, and we will need to round this up. This is the end of the hand on the shoulder part, and we'll work on this later. Alright, so now what we will do is this is the elbow. We'll scale it in, and we need a slight bend. Okay, and we will then try to make a good angle there. Right here. This is the wrist, which will be much narrower, and then we will make this narrow. Okay, and then this can be rotated here to create that bend in the hand. Okay, so there's a slight bend there. So this is the forearm, this will be the bicep, and this will be the so further note some things. Okay, so you can see that this is the arm, and then we'll need the thumb to come out here. So select this and shift, rotate this. Scale it. Scale it. Rotate it. Okay. And then we need to create a this is too wide. Okay, so that would be the thumb, and then again we can make this big. I'll shift it, scale this up, move slightly down. Okay, what are these? Okay, don't need these. So created by mistake. So this thing will bend slightly in this direction. This can be rotated. Okay, so that would be the arm, and then we need again more segments at the bend here. Let's connect on this side. Then we need one here. We can connect one here also if you want. Just leave it in the middle. So there's just enough geometry for the arm to bend. This is the wrist. Okay, and then the thumb will come slightly in the front. So let us select this, control select this. Okay, and then this one has to come in the front here. I'll rotate. Okay, so what we can do is now we can deselect one by one. So we'll let this go. Move it in the front. Rotate it. Where will that one go? Move it in the front. Rotate it. Rotate it this side also. Okay, so the thumb will be in the front. And then we will have to round this off, shift and scale inside and move it down a bit. Okay, and that was our hand model complete. So we'll go and add match mode and see how it looks. You can remove the edged face. I made a mistake in the bend of the hand. The hand is to bend here, not here. So it shouldn't be bending here, it should be bending here. So we'll have to bring it back. This became straight, and then we will bend this. Okay, so the hand will be bending in the front. Alright. Then we will add mesh move to this. So you can spend some more time and try to get a better look. You can go to local parent. This didn't turn out to be very good, but it's basically the hand. And then now we'll move on to what I'll do is not use this, but add a mesh mode. Okay, and then we will need a skin modifier in the middle. We'll use the skin modifier later on. Hide the mesh. So once the hand is modeled, we will have to add bones. So we'll go here to system bones, and then we will start a bone from here to the elbow to the wrist. Then we will create one bone here for the hand, and then we'll need one for the finger, which will end here. And then we'll have to start one from here to this finger, and it will end here. Okay, so we will be able to select this and rotate the hand like this. Now I'll select this one, go to animation, IK solver, HI solver, and click on hand. And now we get an IK handle, so we can create the IK setup so that we can animate the hand, the IK inverse kinematics way. Okay, so this will be used to move the hand left, right, and then we will use this bone to do the rotation, and then we can use the other fingers to animate the hand. Now what we need to do is make sure that the bones are inside. So this one needs to be moved inside here, and this should be moved. So we'll move this one first. And place it there. Okay, so now we can look at it from all the sides and make sure that everything looks right. Okay, and then we will rename the bones. This one is called, we'll name this arm. The next one will be forearm. Then this one will be hand. This will be finger 1. This one will be finger 2. And this one will be finger 3. This will be thumb 1. This will be thumb 2, and this thumb 3. Now for the IK handle, we will create a circle. We'll be using this circle to animate the hand. Okay, it will be somewhere near that object, and we will link the handle to the circle, and then the circle can be viewed. So you can see that select the circle and move it. Alright, now we need to add, we have the skin modifier. We have to add all the bones. So here we will add all these bones. Okay. We don't need these 3 actually, but we can leave it there, doesn't matter. And because we have added the bones now, we can animate the hand. Alright, so we will animate the hand first, and then we will look at the skinning part. Alright, so if you look at the mesh smooth part, now the hand is animated, and then the deformations are not proper, and we will work on the deformations once the animation is done. So I'll go in the front view here, and then we'll go to motion panel and go to motion paths so we can see what is happening. We'll turn the auto key on, and then we'll add a key here. So in the beginning, this is our pose. So after 10 frames, the hand goes up. Okay, at 15 frames, the hand comes down. Then after 20, it goes back up. Then after 15 frames, the hand will go in the back. Then it will come in the front. Then it will go back. And after 10 frames, we'll go back to the beginning. Sorry for that. So we have a 55 frame animation, and then you can see that the hand goes like this, comes back, and then stops. Now there are principles of animation which says everything moves in arcs. Okay, so the arcs is one of the principles. So our hand has to follow arcs. So we need to add an in-between key. So the hand will go up, and when it comes down, it has to again follow the arc. Okay, we'll select this, right click, and then we'll say object properties, and we'll freeze it because we don't want the hand to be selected by mistake, which is happening. Alright, so now it goes like this, and then when it from here to here, when it comes down, again we want it to follow arcs principle. Then it goes back. Okay, and then at 50 again we need a arcs principle here as well. Okay, so now if we look at our animation perspective, let's see that the hand goes back and front. I think this key is not working out properly. We can add one more key to create that in between here. Okay, so we have a nice arc. Don't need to see anything. Okay, so that's our animation. So now we will look at basic skinning. So we will go to unfreeze all, select this object, hide the mesh smooth, go to edge faces, we go to skin, and in the skin we have edit envelopes. We need to click on vertices, and basically we will be working with weight table. Okay, so these are all the vertices that you have, and these are all the bones here. Okay, so we can look at the only critical areas are the joints here. Right, so we will have to see how these two vertices are behaving, and here we can select the selected vertices only, and here you can drag, and you can see that it is affected by arm, and we need forearm. Alright, so what we want is that we want this bone to be affected little by this forearm, so we'll add a value of 0.2 and 0.2 there. Okay, same way this one, which is only affected by forearm, should be affected by the arm by 0.2 and 0.2. This one is only affected by the arm, so we'll make it 50-50 between forearm. See, one of them is here and one of them is there, so we'll make this 0.5, and I cannot type 0.5 here because it doesn't know where the other 0.5 should go, so we should type 0.5 here, and then this 1 becomes 0.5. So this is 0.5. The total should always be 1. So this is 0.2 and 0.8. So we'll do the same thing on this side. This is affected by the arm, so we'll use the forearm and give it a little bit of weight there. This will be 50-50. So we'll do 0.5 here and 0.5 here. And here we need to get 0.2, 0.2. Okay. So when it bends here, it creates a much better bend. Okay. So that's how the weights are done. Now we can also do the weights for this. And now we will animate this bone, which we had not animated. So we'll animate all these bones and see all its movement, how it is. So we'll go to auto key again and add a key. At frame number 10, when the hand goes up, we will animate this going up. Okay. So it goes up and it comes down slightly down. And then we can copy this back here at 20 when it goes up. Okay. So when it comes down, we can look at the key where it was here. We can select this bone, then we can copy this and put it here. Okay. So it comes back, and then when it goes back, again we can select, okay, that is where it goes back, and then maybe we can move it back a little. Here it comes in the front. 45, we can simply shift and copy the key. 55 is where we can bring it back to normal. Okay, so again we will look at the skinning here, how the skinning works. So I'll select this, go to skin, auto key off, weights tool, edit envelopes. This one again, we have to deal with forearm and hand. Okay, so forearm is 1 and hand is nothing. So we'll put 0.2, 0.2. By the way, these numbers are something that I think looks nice. It is not like it has to be 0.2, but how you want the deformations to be. This will be 0.5, 0.5. So the middle ones, that's why I used 3 segments. So the middle one will be sharing the weights, and then the other two will be slightly influenced by the other bone and mainly influenced by the bone which is near that vertex. And I think this creates a good bend. Okay. Same thing happens at the thumb. Now let us look at the thumb here. So maybe we'll have to look at the perspective here. We'll get out. And the thumb, this bone can be animated like this. And you can see that our thumb moves and the hand will not move so much. Okay, so this thumb is getting too many, is it should only, this bone should only affect the thumb, nothing else. So we will again go to our object, go to skin, edit envelopes, weight table. Then I'll select all these three, and we need to make sure that the thumb 1 or thumb 3, this has nothing to do with thumb 3. Why is it thumb 3 here? Because the distance between the vertex and the thumb is there, we don't want any of these to be affected. So this is actually, these are only finger 1 and finger 2. So finger 2, we'll select these two, and then these should be all finger 2. Okay, these should all be finger 2. We'll just put it finger 2 for now. So it goes away from the thumb. This is finger 1. Again, here we can make it 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, finger 1. Here we do 0.2 as always. And then this one's will be 0.2, 0.2. Okay, same thing we'll have to do on this side. But before we move on to that, we have to make sure that these are only affected by thumb 1. That is good. Now, this one, let's see how this is. This thumb 1, I don't think we need too much influence by thumb 1 on this one. This should be, thumb 1 should be 0.2, and then hand should have more. So look at hand, and then we'll give hand 0.8 here. Okay. And then this vertex is affected by thumb 1 again. This should be hand. 0.8 should be hand. The other can be 0.6. Can be 0.8. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here is when you select this and rotate only the thumb, see this looks more natural, less movement elsewhere. And then you can select this bone and move it also. So that's how the hand animation works. So we can now animate say this hand with auto key this. Okay, and when the hand goes up, actually when the hand is down, it is curving. Animate the other one also. I will double click on this, so I have a more natural curve. Add a key, go to 10, and remove that. At 5, it can curve 20. I can simply copy. Okay. So we are doing like subtle animation for all the aspects, just to understand how this works. You can copy this as the hand comes down. and we will it's very little there. I can copy that back. Okay, so we animated the wrist, we animated the hand, we animated the fingers. We can also add the thumb animation to it. So I will use Control C to add a camera. We'll go choose a frame, render settings. I will make this 720 by 720, custom 720 by 720, my render area. Then under Animal Renderer, I will go to Environment, background, and here I will say none. Okay, we don't want any background to be rendered. And then the camera is not straight. I'll make it straight. Move it closer. Just make sure everything is in frame. Okay, so it's not in frame. I have to move the camera back. Okay, so this will be our camera, and then I'll hold the 8 key, go to Environment, add a environment HDRI image, and it will not be rendered in the image. We'll select the camera, lock it, render it. Okay, render settings, we'll go to denoiser and apply beauty so that you can get rid of any curve. And then that's about it. So this is how you can model, rig, and animate a hand. Go to common, let's say range 0 to 55 frames, and save it as AVI or MOV. Give it a name and animation. Decide where you want to save it. So, and animation. And true, save. MPEG compressor is good. And we start rendering. And it's quite fast. It will be done in 3 minutes. Okay. So thank you very much. Hope you learned a little bit about rigging and modeling a hand so that you can create an entire character. We will look at how to animate the feet later on, and then we'll do head modeling, and then in the end you will have a complete character ready, model, texture mapped, rigged, and we'll create some cool animation. Thank you very much. Bye bye.